Hello everyone, I'm Manpreet Kaur, founder and co-owner of Commerce Brainery. Today we are going to start with a very interesting topic, how to make a perfect and an effective resume. Well, resume making is always a tedious task. We have to summarize our academic performances, awards, achievements, skills, and experience within 1 to 2 pages so as to catch the attraction of the recruiter. Now, how such huge information can be summarized in within 1 to 2 pages requires a lot of hard work. We have to take care of many things: how to present a particular information, what to write and what not to write, what is the right sequence of mentioning the things. So today we will be discussing all these points. So stay tuned till end for the effective tips also. Now, before that, Commerce Plenary has taken an initiative to launch various grooming classes. Those topics which are of importance to groom your personality as a whole will be covered under this playlist. We have already presented one topic on our channel, that is how to introduce yourself, or how can you tell about yourself in a particular interview or in a professional event. So those who have still missed that topic, I will be sharing the link in the description box. Kindly see to it. And if you have any such more topics on which you want tutorials, we are free to provide you the same. Kindly comment us. So let's start with today's learning. We will be learning what are the various parts of a resume. How can you differentiate between a resume of a refresher and an experienced person? It is but obvious that these both persons will be having different types of resume. So how we will be differentiating? I will be discussing the examples of the resume of a fresher as well as of an experienced person. And in the end, I will be sharing some effective tips with which you can make your resume a perfect point of attraction. Now let's start. Now, it is advisable that you all keep a copy and a pen with you so that you can write down the things. And after watching this video till end, you just start making your resume. It will take some time, but it will be effective for you only. Now, be very careful that the very first thing that you need to mention in your resume is your name. While mentioning your name, be careful that you provide your full name there. Full name here means the name which you have specified in your certificates, your matric certificate, your 10 plus 2 certificate and all. No other name should be written over there. And while you are mentioning your name, you have to mention the area of specialization or the area of expertise. How? I will be mentioning you. I have taken some examples of real resume. And one thing, the third point which is mentioned over here, that in the name you are not supposed to use any prefix like Mr., Mrs., Miss. These are for reference. These prefixes are used by some other person while calling you. You are not supposed to use these in your own resume. Now let's take some example and understand this point. Here I have a resume of an experienced person on my left and a resume of a fresher in my right. You could notice how an experienced person has written. He has given his name and along with that, software expert. I have already mentioned in the previous slide that you have to mention the area of specialization or the area of expertise. You can mention in this way. Now a question must have arisen in the minds of a fresher. What he will be writing? You can write, I have taken one example, PhD in sociology, PhD in management, masters in management, or a postgraduate in management, or a graduate in commerce. You can write such taglines which will help give an idea about the areas in which you have some specialization. Now see, both the resume are having the names specified in the top only. So the very first thing which should be there in your resume is your name. Now move to the next part. The next is your contact details. Now you need to provide your contact details because whenever you will be applying for a particular job position, if the recruiter finds your resume well specified, well identified with the job description, he will be calling you. Now, where he should contact you for the interview round, that contact details must be correct and must be available all time. For example, what you need to specify here: your contact number, your address, your mail ID, or any LinkedIn profile if you are available on LinkedIn, and any website. Like if you are an experienced person or if you are a freelancer, you can provide your website which will showcase how much work you have done till now, or it will give a reference to the recruiter to have an idea about your work. And at the last, you can mention these contact details either in the beginning of the resume or in the end of the same. Now, here I would like to mention one point, that the resume of a fresher or of a experienced person both carry the contact details in the same manner. There is no such difference of mentioning the contact details in a resume of a fresher or of a experienced person. Now again, let's take one example. You could notice the very first case, in the very first resume, the first detail which is mentioned is the contact number, then the address, then the Gmail ID or the any other Yahoo ID or any ID which is operational in your area, and in the end he has given the LinkedIn profile. Even in some cases you can provide your Skype ID also. Why? Because if you are applying for a job overseas, it is but obvious that your interview must be conducted online. So for online interview, you can provide your Skype ID. In the second resume, you can also notice that the contact details are mentioned. You can choose any criteria of these two for giving your details. Let's move to the next point: description, specialization, profile, or your career objective. Now you have to specify what are your long-term or your short-term goals. Why are you pursuing this field? Who are you? What is the area of expertise, or how many years you have spent in that particular area? This you have to apply or you have to mention. Now there are different ways in which different persons mention this information. Like I have taken examples here. The very first on my left is the resume of an experienced person. See how he has given areas of expertise. And above that, he has also given one paragraph. I am a software engineer with over 2 decades of experience working in the tech industry. So very clearly in the starting of the resume, he has mentioned that he is a software engineer. And how much years of experience he has? 2 decades, means 20 years. Providing valuable expertise to start a business. So he is of good importance to those companies, those businesses which are startups. And after that, he has mentioned areas of expertise. I have worked with various types of projects and have mastered multiple programming languages and coding, as well as software testing and debugging. So you can specify your working areas in such manner. And on the right side, I have taken the resume of a fresher. How a fresher can say about his career description, about his specialization, about his career objective. You could notice the profile word is taken by that person. Highly developed research, qualitative and analytical skills with a strong capacity to conduct independent research. Since that person specified in the starting under his or her name PhD in sociology, so that person has linked his profile with the PhD level work. Why? Because in PhD we do a lot of research work. Since that person has done PhD in sociology, it is but obvious that his profile must carry some research work. So he has related these 2 points here. You need to specify, you need to relate your work with your profile. And you can again mention the 3 points like this, which this fresher has included. You can mention 2 also, you can mention 1 point also. But be very confident about the points which you are mentioning here. Because at any stage of interview, if you are getting selected for that round, you can be asked questions about these topics. So again, examples are in front of you. take a screenshot here, take some notes here, and start writing up your profile. Next is your academic background, from where you have pursued your metric qualification, your 10th plus 2 qualification, your graduation, and your post graduation. Now, while mentioning such things, specify the name of the course. Like you are doing graduation in business administration. You have to specify the degree, whether it is a postgraduate course or a graduate course, whether it is a diploma course or it is a postgraduate diploma course. Name of the university or college from where you are pursuing that degree, or from where you have taken or pursued that degree diploma course. And along with that, you have to specify the time limit of that course, like from where you have started, in which year you have started, and in which year you have ended up doing that particular qualification. Now here, while mentioning such things about your academic background, you can specify here the extra responsibilities you performed while you were in your college days or school days. How? Again, I have taken some examples here. The very first case on my left, educational history. So that person has firstly mentioned the name of the university. After that, he has mentioned the name of the degree, MS Software Engineering, and after that he has mentioned the class of 2008, means the year of completion. You need to specify these things particularly in each and every resume, whether it is of a professional or it is of a fresher. And then afterwards, he has mentioned in bullets some extra special responsibilities or works which were performed by him or her during that course. Again, on the right side, you can notice academic profile. Firstly, University of Pink Lake. So the name of the university is mentioned. Then the name of the course is mentioned. And along with that, year of the course is specified. You can mention these in any of the sequence. There is no hard and fast rule of mentioning these three things. But you have to specify all in any order. And again, notice, after Bachelor of Elementary Education 2012, after this line, that person has again specified the things which he or she has done while being a student in that university. Volunteer teacher for the Pink Lake Helpers, a very good thing. Editor for the Pink Lake newsletter. So these are the extra things which you should specify in your resume to make it more attractive. Next, part 5 says that you have to specify your years of experience, your professional work. Now, be very specific here and specify or mention your work experience in a chronological order, mentioning the most recent first. And then, while giving details of your professional work, you have to specify the years which you have spent doing a particular job, the name of the workplace where you have given your experience, where you have performed your work, the designation on which you were recruited, and the different types of responsibilities which you handled while being a part of that position. Now, a question must have been there in the minds of the fresher: what I will be mentioning? I don't have any work experience. Wait, you can specify your work experience in a very clever manner. How? Mention about your summer internships, your training programs, or when you worked as a freelancer apart from your academic profile. You can specify that thing so that it would not have appeared to the recruiter that you are not having any kind of market exposure. Now again, I have taken examples over here to clarify the details. On the left, I have the resume of an experienced person. See, first heading is written work experience. After that, third grade teacher. This is the designation at which that person was recruited. He was the teacher. What level teacher? Third grade. Then after that, West Buck Elementary School, the name of the location or the name of the workplace where that person was recruited. 2014 to present, the year in which he was recruited, he or she was recruited, till now he or she is working over there. And then in a bullet, that person has specified the responsibilities and the works which he or she has performed being a part of that institute. You can notice after that, first grade teacher. Again, this thing is moving in a chronological order, but with the most recent first, and then later on the order is proceeding. Again, in the case of fresher, let's take an example. It is on my right side of the screen. Professional work, summer legal intern. Now, internships and training programs are part of every educational background, be it a graduation or a post-graduation or a diploma course or a postgraduate diploma course. Every student is involved in one or the other summer internships or the training programs. So it is the very right place to make benefit of that internship program. You can specify the things which you have performed there. You can take advantage out of those responsibilities. So in the same way, this person has written that I am a fresher, so summer legal intern, that is the name of the designation at which he has taken or she has taken that internship. After that, name of the institute where that internship was performed, year in which it was performed, May 2020 till now. So again, a very good way of presenting your information. After that, in bullets, you have to specify the responsibilities and the works you perform being a part of that institute. So be very careful while mentioning your information. Do not leave a particular heading blank. You must be having one or the other kind of information to write under a particular heading. Now, next part. Under sixth part, you can mention about the skills which you have attained. Now, there are two ways of mentioning the same. Either you can give a skills summary or you can mention about skills only. Now, what is a skill summary or the difference between the two? I will be specifying in the examples. But before that, make your mind to mention those skills which are relevant to your job or which are relevant to the job description to which you are applying. You can mention other skills also, but give priority to the relevant ones. Now, what is the difference between the skill and the skill summary? Here it is in front of you on the screen. On the right side, I have taken skill summary example. The very first thing written is project management. 4-star means I have full efficiency. Then is software development. 2 stars out of 4. That means 50% efficiency in handling the software development area. This is called a skill summary, where you are specifying the level of efficiency in a particular skill. Like whether you are a beginner, you are of an intermediate level, or you are an expert in a particular skill area. You can specify this also. Or if you don't want to mention your skill summary, you can simply give the skills which you have. Like I have mentioned in my left side of the screen, audience engagement, content research, copywriting, or innovative lesson planning, classroom management, learning style management, performance assessments, creative lesson plan development. You can also take this as your skill view. So it is up to you how you are specifying the things, but be very careful here again. Mention only those skills about which you have knowledge or which you actually possess. Because if you get selected based on this resume for your interview round, there are chances that you may be asked about those skills in your interview question answer round. So it is better to honestly present your information here. Next, the last two parts of a resume: awards and achievements and references. Now, awards and achievements pertain both to the academic performance as well as to the professional work. Means that you need to specify the achievements which you have attained while being a student to a particular institute, and also when you were an employee to a particular workplace. Now, it depends on the level of awards and achievements which you have performed. But again, a tip over here that you need to mention only the relevant awards and achievements. Like any award at national or international level must be mentioned. But if you have won any award at school level or at any class level competition, there is no need of giving details about that prize. Only the achievements at national and international level are going to make a difference. So, better to mention only those here. You can even specify the scholarships which you have won. Like many of you must have cleared some examinations here, some government examinations. So, you can specify those here. And at the end, the references part. References are those person to whom if a recruiter wants to ask something about you, he or she can give information. Like any school teacher of yours, college teacher of yours, or the previous employer of yours. You have to specify the names, contact details, designation, institute, and the email ID of these persons for the reference of the new recruiter so that he or she may contact these persons for getting further information about you or to inquire about your working style. Now, again, there are different ways of giving this information. I have taken example over here. Like if you are an experienced person, achievements, how you can mention Johnny B and his goods employee of the year 2012. You were elected as the employee of the year. A very good achievement. You should specify. Then, in the first semester of school, you won a specific award. You can specify. In Oakwood University, Dean's Lister, first semester of school year 2009. That in first semester, you won some award, a particular award, you can specify. Now here you could notice that in every achievement, they are specifying the year in which you have one particular award. A very good way of giving information about your chronological achievements. In case of a fresher, how you can mention your achievement? Again, 2015, 2016, 2015, 2010, the different years, different awards, different achievements, or the different scholarships which you have won as a fresher. Because in case of a fresher, you can't mention as you as an employee of a year. It is but obvious. So you can specify these details. Now, how you can mention about the references? The topmost on the left side is the reference part. You have to specify the name of that person, position at which that person is working, name of the institute at which that person is working, contact details, and the email ID. This you have to specify. Now at the end, we have some tips over here because we have done till now every part which you should specify in your resume. Always keep your resume limited to 2 pages only. Make it of only 1 page, but if it is not happening, then maximum 2. Because very long, very lengthy resume are not at all attended or entertained by the recruiter. Because every recruiter just gives 6 seconds to a particular resume. Within 6 seconds, it is but obvious that he would be only watching the first or at max the second page of your resume. So keep your resume very short. Second thing, you must have seen that many of the persons they give their picture on the very first page. I have also taken examples during this video. It is not at all compulsory. It is optional. You can if you want, you can skip if you want. Then next, add the information relevant to job. Only that information which you think is required for that particular job description should be mentioned. So the fourth point and the third tip, both are very linked. You can change your resume depending upon the job description to which you are applying. So if at one particular time you are applying for 2 job positions, there are chances that you have to change your resume depending upon the requirements of the 2 jobs. Don't stick to one particular resume as your particular application for every kind of job. This is the biggest mistake which every candidate performs. Change your resume as per the requirement of the job. And at the last, be honest while giving your information. Your resume is a copy form of your personality. So it is better to don't lie at this stage, because all your further rounds of recruitment are dependent on this fifth point only. So thank you so much for listening to me very sincerely. If you have any doubts, any queries or comments, you can mention in the comment section. We are there to entertain you. Thank you.